The fresh feeling of spring just begs for fresh salads, and Chef Deb is about to deliver the freshest of them all. It's a salmon and asparagus salad, which sounds amazing, but also sounds really healthy and very, full of nutrients and green and all those good fats.
I'm making an effort today to eat healthier.
Yeah.
And I also wanted to do a piece of fish. I haven't done a lot of fish on the show.
That's
but
true.
Crispy skin salmon. Crispy skin is something that is really daunting to people.
Yeah.
I want to break some of the myths around it today, and I want to make it more accessible to everybody at home.
Yeah.
So here we have some beautiful salmon fillets. I'm patting the top down with paper towel. Why?
Because you need it to be dry.
If it's wet, if
Yeah.
there's moisture, it's not going to get color. So exactly, I want it to be dry. I have a pan that's hot over here. Let me add some oil into this pan.
While you're doing that, you had another tip that you chatted with me about before we started this segment, and that's that you can even leave this in the fridge uncovered, because what does that do for the skin?
I'm so happy you brought that up.
Yeah,
That'll help dehydrate.
that was like, it was a light bulb moment for me. I'm like, ooh, yeah, that's a good idea.
People will do that with steaks, with pieces of fish to dehydrate it. Ducks is another good thing too. And this will help dry out the skin. The drier the skin is, the crispier it'll get. So we come with a good amount of salt now on top of the skin. This will help form our crust. It'll also help it release. You'll notice that I'm using a stainless steel pan. I'm not using a nonstick. If at home you want to use a nonstick, then go for it.
Yeah.
But you're going to get a better crisp using this.
Okay.
So we're going to take these pieces now and lay them away from ourselves in the pan. We want to hear that sizzle. And the pan is a little bit hotter than it needs to be. So once I drop this in the pan, it's going to drop in temperature. The pan will obviously drop in temperature, right?
Okay.
What I want to do now is use my hand or a pliable fish spatula that's here and just press down on the fish. As the skin hits the pan, it's going to contract and it's going to seize up a little bit. So by pressing down on it, we can make sure we have full contact, and I can hear the skin popping under my fingers.
The skin is happy or angry, something, but that's the sound you want to hear.
The skin is angry, but our tummies will be happy, okay? So that's what we're doing. So this is now just gonna sear. After about 20 or 30 seconds, we're good. Let's always season the other side.
Yeah.
And now we don't wanna touch it. I wanna make a really fun, refreshing salad. And we're gonna talk about making a dressing. On the show, I've done dressings with Vitamixes, I've done them with blenders, I've done them with whisks.
Yeah,
Today we're gonna keep it really simple. I have a jar here. You need a jar that screws properly.
That's it.
Because if it doesn't, then the dressing's all over the place, right? So we have oil. I'm going to add in some lemon juice. Typically, when you're making a vinaigrette, you want to do at least 2 parts of acid to 1 part of oil. I like 2.5 parts. Sorry, I said that wrong.
Okay.
1 part of acid to 2 parts oil.
Right.
Okay? And I like to add more acid than less. So salt goes in here. Pepper on our salmon, and because we're doing this right now, Trace, what do I do? Like, how do I know when to flip this fish?
I don't know. I guess you can check.
We take a peek.
Take
we
a
can
little
look.
peek.
There's nothing.
Just like lift up a corner.
There's nothing wrong with doing that.
Yeah.
Black pepper goes in. I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic as well.
Are you going to put sweet?
Yep. We're going to add some honey as well. If you want to add thyme, you could.
I always go sweet.
I'm going to add in a bit of honey, and I'm just going to make sure don't make too much of a mess here. But, maybe someone here will clean up after me, okay?
Or maybe you'll just clean up after yourself, because he's that kind of guy.
I am that kind of guy. So here we have our dressing, and I'm just going to shake this to life. So like you're making a cocktail?
The easiest way to make a dressing. And I mean, if you fill that jar up, it can last for a while in the fridge, right?
Exactly. And here we have our dressing. So it may split again, but then we're just going to shake it before we go to serve.
Yeah.
So now make sure the oil is all around. I'm going to take a peek and look at the other side.
Oh,
it's getting really nice and crispy, but I want to go just a little bit longer.
Okay.
I got a couple ingredients in the fridge.
Daredevil. All right, just leave it there then. I'll keep an eye on it.
Couple ingredients in the fridge. So we have fennel that I'm going to add into my bowl. I'm actually going to bring it over here.
Sure.
We're going to add in some fennel, and I have some asparagus as well that I want to get in here. I also want to show you how to break down that fennel. It's a beautiful anisey, light licorice type flavor.
A little licoricey.
So it's really delicious.
I often stay away because when you see it in the grocery store, it looks like an artery. It looks like, a heart with tubes coming off it. So please walk us through what you do to make, shake that down.
Here we have a bulb of fennel.
Yeah.
So we have the root, stems on top. What I'm going to do is very carefully slice down the middle, get my hand out of the way.
There goes my nails.
Okay.
Okay, be
And now
very careful.
It's just so beautiful.
It is
And what I want to
beautiful.
do is there's a core here. So we're
Yeah.
just going to remove that core and get that piece out.
Is it a little woody?
From here, I can slice this in half.
Okay.
And now what I want to do is shave.
Yeah.
And we want to get thin pieces. Now, if the knife skills aren't there that you can do this, then what you can use is a mandolin. But we want really thin pieces of fennel
Yeah.
into my salad bowl. This is now ready because you can see around the edge, it's got really nice golden brown.
Yeah.
So I can flip it over, and look how crispy.
Beautiful.
You can,
I'm going to try this,
you
Deb.
can hear that, yeah, the
Because I eat
stainless steel
salmon
pan.
all the time, and I like a crispy skin, and I'm afraid to do that. Because I'm like, I'm going to burn it,
yeah.
or the other side isn't going to get cooked properly.
Exactly.
That's what I worry about.
And another tip is you can start seeing the salmon change color on top. But look how
Yeah.
beautiful and crispy and simple that is.
Beautiful.
Now to put this dish together,
Yeah.
this comes off the heat now. Carryover cooking is very important. There's enough heat in the pan to finish cooking it from the other side. Beautiful crisp on
Okay.
that salmon. So let's dress our salad here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do it over here.
Yeah, do it.
It's not that
do
I
it,
don't
do it.
like
It's
to,
okay.
I'm just
no,
gonna
no.
do it over here.
I have no offense at all.
So
No
we're gonna
offense
take
taken.
our dressing and now pour this over. Really
Oh, that looks
acidic,
good.
really vibrant. If you want it thicker, just add more oil.
Yeah.
But if you notice, I put a lot of lemon juice, so it's really fresh. Pinch of salt. We can season this with black pepper as well if you want. These are sweetie drops from Peru, like a cross between a grape tomato and a jalapeno. Beautiful brine in here.
Yeah.
So let me shake in some into there.
That adds some good flavor.
Crazy pops of sweet, sour, and spice.
Yeah.
To plate this dish up, you can do this at the table as well. Take our piece,
Oh, this is
put
good.
that directly on top. It'll stay. And then I just have some slivered almonds over here, which will add.
So healthy, but so gorgeous.
Really-
Healthy eating doesn't have to be boring like how I make it.
It does
It can be
not.
like that.
I have a little bit of
Looks so
shoots here
good.
as well. Maybe you don't make as much of a mess as I'm doing here.
No, it's beautiful.
think
That's
I-
a beautiful mess.
You think I'm a professional. And then just lastly, let's reinforce those sweetie drops to get more color here. And this
Very
is the
nice.
crispy skin salmon. You saw how simple it was. Shaved fennel
Yeah.
and arugula. We have and asparagus.
And
We have
asparagus.
the lemon vinaigrette sweetie drops, slivered almonds. A beautiful dish.
Sweetie from a sweetie. That is so good. Very refreshing. Thank you, Chef. That looks
Pleasure.
incredible. The recipe is, of course, up on cityline.tv. You got to try it. I'm going to try to make my fish like that, and I'm going to DM you if I do it properly.